At Volunteers of America, we take care of everyone, anyone that has a need, from an infant to a senior citizen.
My son has been at VOA for 2 years. It's just a wonderful, wonderful, amazing place.
The sooner that we can start to work with the children, the greater the opportunity to have them develop to their full potential.
My son couldn't even speak when he started school. He couldn't say a word. And he's come a long way.
We measure success by the number of children that can be mainstreamed into a general education program.
They came in here just completely different children and they're walking out. It's amazing.
When you're 18, what happens? Are you going to go to college? Are you going to work? What are you going to do? Seeing the kids when they first come in to when they finish is why we get up in the morning. Nationally, 60% of kids that come from foster care placement or a child system will end up in jail, on the street, exploited in one way or another, which is pretty tragic. We step in and give folks what they need so they can start to determine where they want to go and what they want to do.
Our biggest goal in this house is mostly education.
They showed me the picture of how it could happen in life itself, and then I basically made the choice to change.
When you see the kids succeed and complete their education, complete their high school diploma, go on to college.
I wouldn't be in the type of classes that I am, like psychology, pre-calculus, English 4, if I wasn't over here.
That is an associate's degree. I wouldn't even say before this would have been a dream, because I would have never dreamed about this.
It's really inspiring to see their drive and energy from where they've been.
We have families that come in, they're in a temporary crisis mode. They've lost their housing for one reason or another. They've lost a job. For those individuals and families, we address what caused them to become homeless. And for the children, we try to provide as normal as an experience as possible. We celebrate holidays and birthdays, and Operation Backpack is a big piece of that, so they have what they need to return to school in the fall. We want to provide a safe space for them and a place where they can just be a kid and kind of let go of all of that stress, and if just for a day, an hour, a few minutes, that they can be happy and be a kid. The numbers of homeless individuals and families is skyrocketing. There's a real crisis in terms of affordable and supportive housing. There's not that much out there, and so the housing units that we do provide really prevent those people from returning to homelessness.
I would say 2/3 of the men and women living in our shelter system suffer from a substance use and/or mental health disorder.
It was very hard, like sleeping on the sidewalk, and I used drugs to get away from it, the reality.
Families are unsure of what to do when their family member is experiencing a substance use or mental health disorder, and that's where Volunteers of America comes in. We help them to figure out what to do.
I was homeless for over 20 years. Until one of these outreach programs, one of the representatives came and he told me he had a place for me. And he brought me here, and I said, wow, this is not a shelter.
We restore the individual, which in turn restores the family, which in turn restores the community.
After this program, I got my own key now. This is the lion's den. If you go here, we got the kitchen. This is the bedroom. No more sleeping on the concrete, This place here has helped me tremendously, and I reconnected with my family, my daughter. The most meaningful thing for me at this point is that now I'm at ease now.
I reflect often on what our founders said. We will go wherever we are needed and do whatever comes to hand. The first veterans we served were Civil War veterans that were aging out and had no place to go. When the institutions were closed down, we were one of the first on the front line to make sure we could put transitional housing together. When AIDS came along, we were responsive to identifying ways to develop housing for people who had lost their homes, and we still believe that we will go wherever we are needed and do whatever comes to hand. It is the driving force behind what we do every day.
Many of our clients who have resided in our residential programs are beginning to age in place. So in addition to their very special needs, the issues of aging need to be addressed.
I don't know what I would have done had not this been a low-income community.
What we're finding is that our staff is now becoming a caregiver to many of the seniors that we take care of. We have become their extended family.
We don't care what the challenge is. We'll take it on.
We're here because of a passion and a commitment and a desire to serve.
It's a real honor and a real privilege to be able to give people support when they're really at their lowest.
The work that we do helps to build and rebuild communities.
I go home every single day asking myself the same question, why do I go back tomorrow? And I don't have black and white answers every day, but when I lay my head down at night, I know that I accomplished something.
Mort and Ballington Booth, our founders, were social reformers whose goal was to reach and uplift people spiritually, but knew that their first line of action had to be practical. The mission of Volunteers of America has been from the very, very beginning to go wherever we're needed and do whatever comes to hand. For 118 years, Volunteers of America has been helping the most vulnerable populations in our communities. Some people can't imagine doing what we do. We simply can't imagine not doing it.